Stop this week. Just walk in. It's the amazing mine shaft.
Traffic sponsored by Wenninger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Wenninger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Wenninger at pressureisoff.biz.
The Bucks are in Vegas, and they are destined to win big.
Lillard catch and shoot three, and he drills it from the left side.
The in-season tournament semifinals against the Indiana Pacers begins today with our Bucks Radio Network coverage at 3:30 on your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News for Thursday, December 7th. Your top stories: stolen cars, cyclists, and flames.
I'm Wyatt Barmore-Pooley. A new twist in the eye drop murders.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and southbound on 43. Starting off with some delays from Bender Road all the way down to about North Avenue. Make that Fond du Lac Avenue. So it's a little bit of a heavy ride. 19 minutes Brown Deer Road to downtown. On westbound 94, we're seeing delays from about 25th Street through the stadium, and southbound 41 slowing down before Appleton Avenue all the way down to almost Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Well, beautiful day. Partly cloudy skies and mild tonight with a low of 41. Clouds on the increase tomorrow, but a high of 55. It is currently 47 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, 4 suspects are currently at large after they allegedly stole a car, hit a bicyclist and 3 other cars before crashing and starting on fire near UWM's campus today. The chief of the UW Milwaukee Police Department tells our news partners at TMJ4 his officers were called to a report of a car theft in progress Thursday. Officers attempted a traffic stop. The driver of the car took off, striking a bicyclist who luckily was not injured. Eventually, the driver of the vehicle hit 3 other vehicles before the car came to rest and quickly started on fire at Kramer and Linwood, quickly becoming fully engulfed in flames. One of those other 3 vehicles was occupied at the time. The lone occupant was not hurt.
A new twist in the case of Jesse Kershevsky, who was found guilty in the first-degree intentional homicide and theft of property case related to the death of Lynn Hernan. Waukesha County Judge Jennifer Doro has granted the request for her attorneys, Donna Kukler and Pablo Galaviz Jr., to be excused from the case. This disrupting today's planned sentencing hearing, which has now been delayed until January for new lawyers to be appointed. Kershevsky's former attorneys filed the request after documents were filed by the state indicating that Kershevsky asked a friend to falsify documents and a recording trying to prove her innocence.
Well, 2 Milwaukee police officers are on administrative leave following a critical incident on the city's northwest side. 2 suspects are in the hospital, including one with critical injuries, after officers fired shots following the pursuit of a stolen vehicle ending at 51st and Hampton. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman.
Early information indicates that one of the suspects was carrying a visible firearm and refused to drop the weapon despite multiple verbal commands from the police.
Chief Norman did not specify if the suspects threatened the officers during the foot pursuit that led to shots being fired.
As Hanukkah starts this evening, President of the Milwaukee Jewish Federation, Miriam Rosenzweig, says it is important to celebrate this holiday, especially during a time of increased anti-Semitic attacks.
This is a time for us to stand together and shine a light on anti-Semitism, to stand with your Jewish friends. Everyone in Milwaukee, Jewish or not, can light a menorah in support of Jewish Milwaukee.
If you're in need of a menorah, you can get one at MilwaukeeJewish.org.
The White House says President Biden spoke with the Prime Minister of Israel and the King of Jordan today to discuss the latest developments in Israel and in Gaza. Dozens of Hamas captives remain hostage in Gaza, including some Americans. White House National Security spokesman John Kirby says talks are happening every day to reach a new ceasefire deal and free hostages.
We're still trying to get as much information as we can about the hostages that are being held. We have some information, as I said before, on some of the hostages because their families are talking to us, and that's been a terrific source of information and context.
The discussion's happening as a coalition of aid groups renews its call for a ceasefire. The groups say the fighting there is more intense than it's been since the war began.
Late afternoon basketball for the Bucks, taking on the Pacers today in Las Vegas. The semifinals of the NBA's new in-season tournament. Coverage will begin at 3:30 right here on WTMJ. In Green Bay, running back Aaron Jones returned to practice, but wide receiver Christian Watson sits. The Packers will face the Giants on Monday Night Football.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News time is 3:04.
Retirement doesn't have to be complicated. Are you sick of all the fancy charts and investment mumbo-jumbo thrown at you to justify the Wall Street fees you're being charged? It's not the size of your nest egg that matters, but rather the income it can produce. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and star in a brand new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception. In this film, we traveled over 20,000 miles interviewing real Americans who have retired successfully with a great lifestyle and peace of mind. They share their stories on how they get more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and the money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right, if the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even the super wealthy are shifting money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better, stress-free retirement, call today to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Retirement Deception. Call 800-857-7979. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free. Plus, I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 800-857-7979. 800-857-7979. That's 800-857-7979.
Honey, you're dusting again?
I can't keep up. It's crazy.
I don't want you to have to do that.
I hate it so much.
We need to call Capital.
What do?
They clean your ducts with high-powered trucks.
That cuts the dust?
Cuts the dust.
Because our air is only going to get worse.
Now that our windows are closed for the season, yeah.
And the holidays are coming.
We don't want everybody sneezing all over the place. I'll call them.
Already got it.
Oh.
Yeah, Capital, please save us.
Our duct cleaning technicians are standing by
to get you ready for the holidays
and save you time and trouble. And kerosene. That's right. Cut the dust
and breathe cleaner air.
Capital does over 1,000 duct cleanings every year.
Yeah, now's the perfect time to get your ducts clean
before Capital's holiday rush starts.
Let Capital Heating, Cooling, and Electric save your holidays and clean your ducts today. Schedule online at callcapitalcares.com.
When you're in pain, you're all ears to any and everybody telling you they can help you. And at Rejuvenex, we're one of them. And there are others. But the difference here is that in most cases, insurance covers the cost of our treatments, because our proprietary and powerful pain relief treatments are FDA approved. Others, like bioregenerative options, aren't covered by insurance, because they're not FDA approved and considered experimental. At Rejuvenex, our treatments are precisely administered to where your pain lives, to cushion and lubricate your affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief, sometimes as long as 2 years before our next treatment is needed. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for one of the very special places in our community. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. They offer early memory loss classes. They take care of people in your family who have dementia symptoms or other related cognitive declines. I'll tell you what, I've been in their facilities. They're special. They're incredible. I have an aunt who's in a facility. I know what it means to make sure your family's in the right place. That's Azura. It's compassion and empathy. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, AzuraLiving.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here's Greg Matzek.
Well, very much an abbreviated show today. We've got Bucks basketball at the bottom of the hour. Yeah, that's right. A rare late afternoon tip-off for the Bucks. They're in Las Vegas. It's a little more of an early afternoon tip-off for them. Part of the NBA's in-season tournament. They are playing in the semifinal matchup in the Eastern Conference, taking on the Indiana Pacers. So our coverage of that gets underway at 3:30. We'll have Bucks basketball on the air just after 4 o'clock. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley is in. Deb is in. Sam Butson's producing the show. We're tracking a few stories here this afternoon.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
All right, Wyatt, where do we begin today?
Well, Amtrak service from Milwaukee to Green Bay keeps moving down the track.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's by no means a done deal. There are still several steps in the process, but one of those steps is now passed. So Wisconsin receives 500,000 federal grants to study the idea of expanding Amtrak's service. The idea is to take the route from Milwaukee to Green Bay. There are additional opportunities to extend those routes to Madison and Eau Claire and even the Twin Cities. All of this is being researched. Routes to Green Bay, Madison, and Eau Claire would all run out of Milwaukee. So choose your own adventure when you're going from Milwaukee to somewhere, it may not only be Chicago. You might be able to go north and a little bit west.
Yeah, I'm a huge train fan. I love it. I think it's a great mode of transportation, and I really enjoy the Hiawatha to Chicago, so I'm all for this.
Yeah, one thing that I think gets lost in the discussion, I think people think, well, you have to go from Milwaukee to Green Bay to make this a viable service. I think about how many people go from Milwaukee to Chicago on a daily basis for work. I will also guess there are several who live in the Fox Valley that go to Green Bay for work. So that would be one of the stops along the route. Perhaps that'd be a more viable option than driving. And typically Wisconsin's more of a driving community, but just something to keep in mind here.
Definitely.
What else do we have?
Well, on this day, we are going to remember and honor the 2,403 Americans killed in the Japanese surprise attack on Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. That was December 7th, 1941.
Yeah, there is some fascinating audio, and history buffs have likely already heard this, but 2 hours into the attack, a KGU reporter made a call from Honolulu to New York. So this is the only known live report of the battle, and it is quite simply a phone call to New York that was dispatched across the nation.
And now we take you to Honolulu. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, NBC. Hello, NBC. This is KGU in Honolulu, Hawaii. We have witnessed this morning the distant view, the battle of Pearl Harbor, and a severe bombing of Pearl Harbor by enemy planes. Undoubtedly Japanese. The city of Honolulu has also been attacked.
So it's hard to understand exactly what he's saying, but he says, hello, New York. He is radioing in from Pearl Harbor, giving an eyewitness account of the attacks and what is happening.
You can hear the bombs in the background.
It's a remarkable piece of audio, and it's about the only known live recording of what happened. But that was literally dispatched across the nation. And about 2 minutes in, an operator disrupts it and says, hey, we need this line. There's an emergency call that we need to connect. And then, boom, the report stopped. But
that's crazy.
It absolutely incredible, and certainly one of the most horrific days in American history. Over 2,000 Americans killed by Japanese forces who announced war before fully declaring a war. That was the start of the war in 1941.
Yeah, as FDR said, a day that will live in infamy, even to this day.
Certainly does. And finally,
2 Wisconsin trails will receive national recognition. Good news for hikers.
Yeah, this is cool. The National Park Service has officially designated Wisconsin's Ice Age Trail and the North County National Scenic Trail as units of the National Park System. So what does that mean? It means they will receive improved management resources and access to federal funding that'll help ensure its long-term beauty and presence. So this is a 1,200-mile route, the Ice Age Trail, all in Wisconsin. Did you know you could go 1,200 miles in Wisconsin? Well, you can.
Where the old glaciers were, right?
Yeah, so there are a number of trailheads, but you could start in Door County, go all the way south to Waukesha County, back a little west, and then north through central Wisconsin.
We better get walking then.
Far west to Polk County and the Minnesota border. That'd be a hell of a bike route. But yeah, it's going to receive some federal funding now. Back in 2021, Congressman Glenn Grothman and Mark Pecan passed a bipartisan amendment to help admit the Ice Age Trail as part of the National Park System, and it receives its declaration today. Really cool stuff here. Good stuff. Love hiking in the state of Wisconsin. Shortened show, so typically we talk to Ben Brust as part of our Green and Gold Insiders segment at 4:15. We don't have a 4:15 today, so Ben is going to join us on the other side to talk about a very interesting and a very cool charitable initiative that he is backing and he is behind, and you really started. We'll do that after this on WTMJ.
The Bucks a dominant showing to punch their ticket to the semifinals of this in-season tournament.
The Bucks look to advance to the NBA Cup Championship with a win over the Indiana Pacers.
Gonna launch up a three and hits another one for good measure.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 3:30.
Lobs up to Giannis, who sends it down with a two-hand jam on another alley-oop.
We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Sin City, here we come.
We all want a healthy, thriving community, and we all thrive when we share our time, talent, treasure, and ties. The Greater Milwaukee Foundation is partnering with the community through the Greater Together campaign. Join the foundation in this campaign to advance racial equity through investments in housing, early childhood education, and more. Make an impact today and for generations to come at GreaterMilwaukeeFoundation.org/campaign. Together, we can build a Milwaukee for all.
Well, happy holidays from my friends at Siding Unlimited, all the great American craftsmen, the office folks, the families too. Siding Unlimited, the best in the business, Wisconsin's best contractor for defending your house. They don't really have anything to sell that will fit under that tree of yours. They got the big stuff here, talking about roofing products and decking products, the best in siding from LP SmartSide, all right there at Siding Unlimited. Pella Windows as well. Great products, great installation teams. It's Siding Unlimited. So here's an idea. Maybe print out a picture and put those pictures under your tree to kind of give the hint as to what could come in 2024. Bring your ideas to Siding Unlimited showroom in Brookfield, 665 Larry Court. Stop in with your thoughts and plans and let them work on carving out a installation plan for you. Make your home beautiful in 2024 with help from Siding Unlimited. The best of the best is Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. You can start the process online at sidingunlimited.com.
Prepare the way of the Lord. It's Advent, and this is Archbishop Listecki. We in the Catholic Church are in the middle of the Eucharistic revival, spreading the word about the real presence of Christ in the Eucharist. During Mass, the bread and the wine become the body and blood of Christ, and we receive Jesus at every Mass. If you haven't been in church lately, Advent is the perfect time to renew your relationship with Jesus, the only true joy you'll experience in this life. Join us at Mass and experience the love of Jesus in the Eucharist.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329.
Well, we don't have much for traffic reports today. Do we have much for traffic today? Debbie Loziga's in. Hey, Deb.
Hey there. Yeah, we're looking okay so far. Obviously, we got that heavier volume. Some slowing down. 43 southbound from Green Tree all the way down towards Fond du Lac Avenue. Northbound's pretty clear, though, so we're in good shape there. Southbound on 41, heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. And westbound 94, tightening up from 27th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Well, beautiful day. It's going to be a pleasant evening as well with lows down to about 41 under cloudy skies. Clouds hang out tomorrow, but the temps go up a little bit with a high of 55. It is currently 46 degrees in Milwaukee at 317.
It's time for Green and Gold Insiders on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Green and Gold Insiders on a Thursday. We typically do this at about 4:15, but with the Bucks playing a game at 4 o'clock this afternoon, we decided to move Ben Brust to 3:15. Ben is going to be a part of our show. Let's see, over 50% of the show will be devoted to Ben Brust. I like this today.
Wow. I
That's
feel
impressive.
very honored. I did not know that.
That is a big number with the half-hour show ahead of Bucks basketball today, the rare game in Vegas. So last week, Ben, on the program, you talked about how you're starting to grow in favor of Jordan Love, and he's ascending. He's performing really well. The Packers are in playoff position. He's been brilliant over his last few games.
Partners and so many people have gotten involved where for every Jordan Love touchdown thrown, the rest of the season, $2,500 is the number we're at right now.
Touchdown.
Per touchdown.
Wow.
And that goes back to last week against the Chiefs, because that's when I started at. Like, you talked about the ascension, Greg. I was like, well, if I'm going to be jumping in Lake Michigan if the Green Bay Packers make the playoffs, well, let's do something fun with this. On Giving Tuesday, Greg Gard, the head coach of the Wisconsin men's basketball team, joined our program. I was like, you know what? Jordan's playing well. How could I do something fun for guarding against cancer? And that's Coach Gard's, cancer initiative. He lost some family members and has had it affected him and his family, and like all of us have. And he has gone out and raised $7.5 million since 2016. And what turned into $100 for me putting up for every Jordan Love touchdown, starting with the Chiefs game, has turned into Coach Guard matching and so many other people, businesses, families that were up to $2,500 per touchdown the rest of the season. And if it trends this way, they could go to the playoffs and go even further than I expected and raise a lot more money for guarding against cancer, which stays here in the state of Wisconsin, E.W. Carbone.
This is amazing. So touchdowns for love, and it's the word.
And you can just
for.
donate if you want. You don't have to pledge a per amount. Like if you want to support guarding against cancer and UW Carbone, there's a donate button for you to get involved. But if you are listening and want to get involved, there is still time on the pledging per touchdown.
See, and I love when you started this, because you started this when Jordan Love got on fire.
Yeah.
Right? And like the offense started to look like an offense, and like, holy smokes, the dude is playing well. This is all working well together.
I'm watching the Kansas City game, and like knowing that I'm going to be like, this was when it started, I was like, I'm going to be donating $100 per touchdown. They're in the red zone. I'm like, throw it! Throw it! Come on, touchdown! Like, and even I believe the play action pass to Ben Sims, right, was like at the 1 yard line. I'm like, oh no, here comes the AJ Dillon, try and ram it home. And I was like, yes, play action. Like, it makes the game so much more fun. And especially when Jordan Love's playing at a high level. And I think Matt LaFleur talked about it, how it's just started to feel different after that Pittsburgh game, right? Even though they lost against Pittsburgh, he played well against the Chargers. Did the Packers catch some breaks? Absolutely. But then you back that up with performances on primetime against the Detroit Lions in front of everyone on Thanksgiving, and then against the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. He has played lights out. So it's so fun to have watched him develop into somebody that I think is going to be extended when eligible by these Green Bay Packers. And the rest of the world's kind of scared right now because they're like, did they do it again?
Yeah, especially in Chicago. They are saying that in Chicago. Our friends at ESPN 1000 are not enjoying what is happening in Green Bay because their season remains in the dumps when Justin Fields, their quarterback, who knows where he'll be playing next year.
One of our teammates, David Kaplan, came on our show and said he's the best quarterback in the division. This was before the Chiefs game, and he has not backed down.
Yes, well, that is very interesting. Justin Fields will play for a different team next year. But the Bears fans especially cannot be enjoying the success that not only Jordan Love is seeing, but the Packers are seeing. Because all of a sudden, here we go. If the Packers are a playoff team, not only are we all incredibly excited about the quickest rebuild ever, but you got to jump in Lake Michigan.
Yes, that's true. I'm happy to do that. At this point, I'm going to be honest. Even if the Packers don't make the playoff, which I fully expect them to do, with the amount of money we've raised for guarding against cancer and potentially raise, I mean, at $2,500, Jordan Love had 3 touchdowns, and with 5 games to go in potential playoffs, if he hits like 15 touchdowns, that's around $40,000 without any donations made just to the website at touchdownsforlove.com. I'm jumping in. I'm going in Lake Michigan. I want them to make the playoffs at this point, so it's all tied together. Make the playoffs, raising money for guarding against cancer. Jordan Love's ascending. He's very easy to like. It's just like he's got a cool, calm collectness to him, a poise and a confidence that you can see his teammates are gravitating towards. So it's made this whole initiative something where I'm rooting for him to do well, and it's helping go to a cause that is near and dear to me and Coach Guard.
Okay, so here's what I love about Jordan Love: 3-6, same guy. 6-6 on a heater. Same guy.
Can't say I'm that guy.
There's no difference in him, right? And that's a big deal.
It's admirable.
And I get it. Aaron Rodgers, every eye roll or mustache twitch that he ever had was scrutinized and on camera. But Jordan's sort of in the same boat as all these young guys. They're all sort of doing this together. It's like we're all in this together. It's not the old guy at the front of the band with all the hipster young cats behind him. Love is young, too. Like, they're all growing together. There's no separation. They are tight. I can tell that.
You hit it on the head. And I think what's been most impressive about what Jordan Love has done is when you look at a lot of the quarterbacks in the NFL who are high in the MVP race and whatnot, think about everything that's gone against Jordan Love and why he wouldn't be a good quarterback for the Green Bay Packers right now. David Bakhtiari has played one game. That is an all-pro left tackle. Aaron Jones has virtually been hurt for the entire season, or not the same guy that he was before he got hurt in week 1 against the Bears. Those were your two best offensive players heading into the season. They have the youngest wide receiver and tight end group since the 0-16 Browns. Luke Musgrave, their number 1 tight end, got hurt and has not been playing the last couple weeks, and you see other tight ends step up. You have Christian Watson, who's been hurt all year long. Flashes, good games, bad games. Romeo Doubs, consistent, but you're seeing Jaden Reed become a star as a rookie. Dontavian Wicks, people are calling for him to get more snaps. I say all these names that people may know, are starting to know, but that is why it is so impressive, because Jordan Love is a first-year starter, and with everything that's happened all around him, he has elevated the team to 6-6 and a great spot to get in the playoffs.
Pretty cool stuff. They'll take on the New York Giants on Monday Night Football. So, yeah, get to enjoy your weekend. It's a drama-free weekend of football watching. A few teams I'm sure you're cheering for or against as it pertains to the Packers' playoff hopes, but they are in position right now. So the website is touchdownsforlove.com. You'll see all the information right in front of you, touchdownsforlove.com. Ben Brust, the Carbone Cancer Center in Madison, and Greg Gard's charity Guarding Against Cancer, all working together here to try and raise money for the fight against cancer. Appreciate it, pal. Very cool stuff. It's Ben Brust, KBN, 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN. We caught him during a break. We'll send him back to his own program. Thank you, pal.
Thanks, Greg, for having me on. Touchdownsforlove.com. Let's go, baby.
And that is right. The Packers in playoff position. More Packers talk with Jason Wilde on tomorrow's show at about 4:15. We've got Bucks basketball coming up in just a minute here on WTMJ. Also, a reminder, we are going to be out and about at Capco Metal Stamping tomorrow. It's part of our Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive. It's the 18th annual Toy Drive and celebration of giving event. We are going to be out there tomorrow. There is a bigger to-do on Saturday, December 9th from 3 to 7. This will be out in Grafton, 885 Badger Circle. That's the campus of Capco Metal Stamping. This has been going on since 2005. In fact, I remember being a part of the very first one. And this was an idea that Jonathan Green had back in the day, and it's really taken off. And so far to date, over the course of 18 years, Capco's Kids to Kids program has collected over 300,000 new toys that have been distributed across dozens of local charities. They really get the community involved in Grafton as well. There are pickup and collection sites at middle schools, elementary schools, and high schools. And they really employ a number of high school leaders to help execute the program. But here's one thing. I was talking with one of the organizers earlier today, and it just said, hey, we look forward to being out there tomorrow and looking forward to bringing you some of the sights and sounds of a great event. They said, yes, don't forget, people can drop off really any toys, but most commonly when you hear there's a toy drive or toys being collected, you think about kids, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, right? And they said just a reminder that the teenage group of folks that are in need, they sometimes feel a little left out with this, so it's okay. Find a Bluetooth speaker, find a makeup kit, find something that would also be, inviting for a teenager who might not have the normal holiday season that you and I have oftentimes. So just keep that in mind here. If you're going to donate, anything and everything is appreciated. But keep in mind, kids certainly go beyond those young ages. Teenagers are certainly in need as well. 3:27 on WTMJ. We got Bucks basketball coming up in a minute, and then we'll go right into Bucks talk. And if the Bucks win today, they will advance to the championship game of this inaugural NBA in-season tournament. The team is out in Vegas. They'll play 2 games regardless. If they win, they'll advance to a championship game to play perhaps LeBron and the Lakers on Saturdays. So the NBA is experimenting with this whole deal this year, but I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. This is an idea and a plan to keep interest in basketball, keep stars on the court in the early part of the season, and not just after Christmas when the race to the postseason begins. So we'll be back again tomorrow. Join us out in Grafton at Capco Metal Stamping. Donate some toys, and we'll have a great time doing it. Looking forward to being out there. Mike Spalding and I will be back with Wisconsin's Afternoon News tomorrow. Sam Butson producing the program for Wyatt Barmore Pulley. I'm Greg Matzik saying Bucks basketball is next on WTMJ.
Concordia University is a top-tier, nationally ranked university located on the shores of Lake Michigan with over 80 programs to choose from, including graduate and doctoral